Okay, welcome. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
We're very good. I want to show you a little bit of a view of our dinner tonight. Okay, so we've got that away, all the way back there, and that
Oh,
way.
it's
Oh
a
god.
big book club.
Yeah. So we've got 40, including Danielle and I, who's my bookseller here tonight. 43 people here for you tonight. So thank you for doing this 2 nights in a row. You're a champ, an absolute champ. Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and get right into this. I do have a couple of extra questions that I'm hoping will keep it a little bit more interesting for you.
Okay.
Um, I did want to kick it off. We had a fun discussion to kick off the night. There were lots of folks who just thought this was lots of fun, exactly the book they wanted to read. Especially, we were on spring break, or like our system was on spring break, and we have several teachers, and so it was like the vibes were immaculate for this. Perfect timing. That's perfect timing. Okay, so I'm just gonna dive right in since we only have you for a little bit of time. And I just want to make sure I'm pronounced. Is it Anna or Anna? We have gone back
Anna.
and Anna. Okay, thank you. I think we made a typo one time misspelling your name and have been constantly questioning it, and I just was terrified I was going to mispronounce it to
Oh,
your face. So I would
is it
always
the
rather
Garcia? Because
no,
everyone.
it was whether it was Anna or Anna.
Oh,
That's why. Yeah, because we forgot the N the one time.
eh.
So I always would rather get it right the first time and not make a fool of myself and not insult you. So there we are. So thank you, Anna Garcia, for joining us to discuss the Breakup Vacation. So number one, and I'm going to throw in a little bit of a silly question to this. It's the
Ooh,
same
okay.
first question we got last night. So if there were any characters or scenes based on people you know or experiences you had, and specifically, there's the one cave scene, and we're just curious if there was any research that went into that moment.
Okay, first of all, let me just say that my older sister also made her book club read it, and they called me in the middle of their book club discussion to ask this exact question. And I looked at my sister and I was like, is that something you want me to answer? Like, is that really a question you want? I mean, the answer is it is not based on a personal experience.
Is it
However,
a story?
I'm going to admit something very embarrassing, which is that I saw Magic Mike 3 in the theater on opening day. I'm so sorry, everyone, if you're disappointed. Has anyone seen the movie?
No. Wait, was that what?
Honestly, good for
No.
you. It's the third one. It's really bad. But in the very beginning, there's like a scene where Channing Tatum gives Salma Hayek a lap dance, and it is like he picks her up at some point and like has her straddling his face, and I saw it and I was like, that's going in the book. So I want to be clear that the logistics have been tested on movie stars, not with my
Okay,
own
so
eyes.
we should imagine that our characters are Salma Hayek and Channing Tatum in that moment.
I
Yes.
think that that's totally fine. I would love to feel like Selma Hayek.
Yeah, there are people. They have bodies that exist.
Exactly.
That could be possible.
That's
There we
totally
go.
reasonable that someone like Channing Tatum would give me a lap dance. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. I think so. So kind of a similar question, but more serious. Just like if there, or I guess it's kind of a two half question. Was this book based on like an experience you had in your early 20s, or was there a research component to the novel? And if so, what was that?
So I'm gonna say it's not based on personal experience because my parents are still alive and I think that they read it. So it is definitely all fictional. Um I will say that the research component, I mean, I would say it's like, sure, there was a research component. I just researched it before I ever knew I was going to write this book. So I think that that counts, right? Like my life was research leading up to this. Like, for example, there are some complaints that like the drink amounts are too much, and I want to be clear that they are not. People can and do drink that much, especially in Cancun.
I would attest to that. I think we can all back you up on that, quite frankly.
Thank you.
That actually didn't come up tonight. No one said anything about that tonight. Not at all.
Well, that's because you guys understand. I mean, I feel like there's the girls that get it and the ones that don't. And I'm like, listen, if you haven't been to Cancun on spring break, I don't know how to explain it to you.
The only challenge that it presented with for us is that the dinner that the restaurant prepares is inspired by the food that's mentioned in the book. And
yeah,
Savannah, who I think you spoke with last night, she when she emailed the kitchen, she was like, "Well, there's tequila, and there's some really wonderful drinks, but otherwise, just like let's go with like Cancun vibes and have like a lovely Yucatan." And we're having a delicious Yucatan dinner. It's wonderful. We had a delicious
pastor and cochinita pibil tacos.
Yes, yeah. I have those waiting for me. I am.
Oh, you haven't gotten to eat them yet?
I haven't. Everyone else has. Hold on, let me show you.
They're gonna get cold. Cold tacos are not good.
Hold on, I want to show everybody.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I asked yesterday, and they said the poll was heavily everyone liked the pastor more. Those are my two favorite kinds of tacos. That's why. But the pibil is like my ultimate favorite.
Oh, we didn't even know that.
Curious.
Well, maybe I'll try and ask you a really long-winded question, go off camera, and stuff like that. Okay. Let's try and find that question. That won't be long-winded. Oh, yeah, this is a good question. So this is a book that is published by MTV Beach House Books. What was that like, working with MTV?
Wild. Like, I think like everybody else, I was like, MTV publishes books?
Oh, that.
Nope.
Sorry, that was gonna be my taco question. I thought there was gonna be more.
No, I wasn't done. You just cut me off. I mean, I thought you like left.
Sorry, no, I'm just gonna eat my taco. But yeah, tell us about working with MTV.
No, it was good. So it was just that like I didn't know that MTV Books existed. Except then when I got the offer for it, I went and Googled them, and apparently they published The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which most people have heard of. So I think this is like their second coming of like revamping their book scene. Like it's always existed, apparently. Who knew?
That is wild. My mind.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Like I don't understand what happened to them. A lot of celebrity biographies. No, I don't mean like in a bad way. I just mean like they seem to have like published like books beyond celebrity memoir, and then they kind of like disappeared, and now they're back. So it was super fun because it was like, I don't know, it didn't have to be so serious. Like I was like, you want me to write a party book? I can absolutely write a party book. Like MTV vibes, done.
So they came to you, did they come to you with the concept, or was it like a traditional query process?
No, so they came to me with the concept. So my editor there was, I think, like the senior vice president or whatever, and he had read my first book, which is a young adult novel called Boys I Know. And we're both half Asian, half white, and so he was like, we're besties. So and I was like, okay. You want to pay me to write a book? Okay. So he came and found me and was like, hey, I think that you'd be a really good fit for this book. What do you think about this concept? Do you think like it could be fun for you? And I was like, yes. I was like, it's adult, right? Like I can have sex. And he was like, definitely. And I was like, great. Okay, we're in. So that's how that came about.
That's so between the like traditional, hey, tables in the back, hush, thank you. Between your experience publishing a young adult novel and what we traditionally think of with the publishing process of your agent, sending it out versus you being essentially commissioned and like hand chosen for this specific book, what was there anything that you did or did not like about that difference?
I mean, it's very different in that, like, you don't have nearly as much control, right?
Mm.
Like, they have certain things that they want, and it's MTV, right? So it's like there are requirements. They want a wide cast of characters. They want, because essentially I mean, no better way to say it, but they're essentially like hiring people to write books that they can then package up and then they want to make into like a movie or a TV show, right? So it needs to feel like it could be an MTV show. So that's really different. And so like it was changing a lot on the fly because like at first I think she was supposed to be like a singer, and then they were like, oh, wait, no, we already have a project with an Asian singer. You can't write that. Quick, let's change it. Right? So like I'm not married to any concept. So like, okay, cool. She doesn't have to be a singer. That's fine. Thank God. I like when people write books with singers and then they like write song lyrics, it intimidates me. Like I will never write a singer or a poet. Like I'm not, no, I don't have those talents. But yeah, I mean, so it was good in that like I didn't have to write alone in a cave. It was like really collaborative. And then on the bad side, like my first edit letter was 24 pages. So good and bad.
Yeah, and I would imagine the like the market research that they're putting into those edit notes they're giving to you. Like it's mind-boggling to me, like how they're coming up with all these things they want you to hit, and like where is that data coming from? How are they?
Yep.
That's cool, but also terrifying. Okay.
Yeah, so like when we were voting on cover, which just to be clear, I love my cover, but it was like they asked for my input and then they were like, actually, we did market research and it's this one. And I was like, that's cool, but why did you ask me then? I mean, it's fine. I love it, but like, if you aren't going to use my opinion, I don't really know why you're asking.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so I'm glad this question made it. So Danielle and I were talking about this as well. The conversation around consent between Grace and her friends was really relevant and important. Why and how did you decide to include this conversation at the point in the story that you included it?
Well, I knew that I wanted to include it at some point. I just think that it's such a big part of sex that nobody ever talks about. So, like, for background, I'm really annoying about sex ed. Like, I'm rabid about it. My first book is about like a teen girl learning about sex and this and that. Like, my swag that I handed out was custom condoms. Like, it's a big deal to me, right? But like, sex education's really lacking and really sad. So I live in California and we actually have like the most progressive sex ed in school. It starts in kindergarten and it starts with consent and safe touch. And then it's like, instead of a no means no, they do what's called a yes means yes program, which I thought was really great and really important and something that I think most people don't grow up with. And so I think it's pretty common, especially in like situationships, for that kind of like line to get very blurry about that. So I thought it was really important to include because it's just something I've seen and dealt with a lot.
Yeah, it definitely, I think it made me very reflective about like how little I was aware of my own agency in terms of consent and like how I was affecting other people's consent as well as like a young 20-year-old woman. So it was, very, very well done on that. I think, thank you.
It's my secret agenda to radicalize all girls before they hit like their 20s.
To radicalize them to think of consent. Radical mission, yeah.
You know what? You'd be surprised. And not just that, just radicalize like, hey, you know what? Like, actually, I'm pretty important and I'm actually maybe more important than the person I'm with. So I should stop like sacrificing myself for their happiness.
Yes, we love it. This is you can be in our bunker.
I eat a lot, so just heads up.
We're all in good company. We definitely are gonna have. It's gonna have to be on a farm bunker, an underground farm bunker. We'll workshop it. It's okay. Okay, so this is made. This will be interesting if this is relevant for your writing process, but considering it was such a collaborative effort. But I'm curious if there was what were you reading while you were writing this book?
I don't read while I draft generally.
I'm very glad you finished that sentence.
No, I read a ton. I often don't like to read when I'm drafting because I'm so like worried that I'm gonna accidentally plagiarize or something, or like if I'm reading the wrong thing, then it's like creeping in. Oh, am I reading a historical romance? Suddenly all my people are like, perchance, do you have an afternoon free? So I did not read. And actually I was drafting my second YA at the same time. So I was drafting 2 books at a time. So I really didn't read anything.
Did you watch TV?
I did. You know what? I did watch a lot of MTV, and I found that apparently nobody watches it anymore because I kept bringing it up, and people were like, "Is MTV still on the air?" And then I had to be like, "Yeah, I was watching music videos," and then I got a lot of weird stares. But
that makes
people
me
are still making them.
Sad for some reason that people didn't. Oh, there's a part of my young self that's very sad that people weren't watching MTV.
Well, I was really excited, except they really only show like the same 10 videos over and over again. And if I have to see Usher's naked body one more time, you would think it wouldn't get tiring, but it does.
I mean, he's been around a while, so there are other fish in the sea that we could be looking at nakedly.
Not Magic Mike 3, not the third one. For sure.
Bring it back. Thank you. I think we kind of covered like one of the questions. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit. So this says Savannah saw. I did not see this because I am a very bad millennial and I never get on Instagram. I saw on your Instagram that you heard writing in a hotel room aids creativity and helps the process go quickly. Have you found that to be true?
The answer is yes, I did. Because hotel rooms have nothing to clean or distract you with. And so you're stuck there and you're like, well, there's nowhere to go. And especially because I stayed in like a hotel by the airport, right? Like it wasn't like I've gone on a vacation. It was like, no, I'm by the airport. There's nothing to do. I can't leave my room. Hey, maybe I should write. So
that makes sense. Yeah. When I need to do work, if my house is dirty, I leave it because I know I'll just clean my house. Or I'll try. Anyways,
I've never done so much laundry in my life.
Well, good for your closet. Good for your closet, man. It needs to happen at some point. My laundry hasn't been done in a very long time. That's not what we're here to talk about, though. I just want to make sure we got all of our reader questions. Oh yeah, the movie quotes, the opening movie quotes at the beginning of the chapters. So there have been. We're curious about the kind of the joining force between those, or if there was one, or if these are just movies you liked.
No, okay, so there is, and I realize that you wouldn't know it unless you read the book like more than once, which, I'm not counting on it. But basically it kind of like gives you the vibe, right? Like, so like the first chapter is Rose being like, I'll never let go, Jack. And it's like her trying to break into her ex-boyfriend's house, right? Like, I will never let you go. So I just picked like famous movie quotes that I thought were fun that fit the vibe, which sometimes doesn't make sense to anyone but me, but I really enjoyed it. So you know what?
When you put it that way, it does make a lot of sense, especially that first one. When, like, I'm thinking about her. Wow, that's that whole chapter is so funny with her and never letting go. It's very accurate. Okay, I think I've got all of my. Okay, we've got a question from the back. Is there a sequel?
I hope so.
Okay. Is MTV turning it into a movie?
That I don't know. I think they're working on that part. The idea behind the Beach House books, I know so they were planning to launch like a line of beachy books, but then they were like, oh, let's see how the first one goes. So I was like, oh, no pressure, cool. So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. We'll keep looking at the catalogs and we'll wait. So off of that, we are wrapping up pretty quickly. But so are you working on anything right now?
I am working on another adult romance and then another young adult contemporary.
Can you tell us anything about them?
I wish I could. It doesn't have a lot of plot yet, just a lot of sex scenes. So it's gonna have to have a plot at some point. I'm told they're important. I don't know anything about that.
How many peppers would you rate it?
I mean, currently, right now, like in the 4 to 5 scale, maybe.
Ooh, Melissa, this one's for you.
But again, there's no plot yet, so we'll see.
I'm trying to. Did anybody bring the bookmark that I got for this book? Who gets a subscription?
Yeah, it's in my car.
Oh, okay.
I like a little spice.
Yeah, for our subscribers to our book club package, I found these really cute little magnetic bookmarks that say, what did it say?
I like my books. I like my books.
I like my books extra spicy, and it had like a little hot sauce packet. It was cute. So I've been thinking about how many peppers we would rate these books.
I assume it's enough peppers that my mom has not wanted to talk to me about it. Because after my first one, she called me and she was like, I can't recommend this to my friends. It's too racy. And I was like, Mom, this is a book for children. It's not racy at all. So I think I've nailed it. I mean,
Okay. Which book for children was that?
it's not racy, but it is about sex. So she was like, oh.
I see.
This is why I can't answer any questions about life.
Your poor mother. Poor you, really. Poor you. I'm sure your mother.
Poor me. Thank you. Yes.
That's too funny. Okay, so we'll look for more information about your new books in the future. But what about that? You said you're drafting a YA book, though. That I assume can you say anything about that? No.
Can I say anything about that? It's like it's going to take. I'm pitched it as Mean Girls from Regina George's perspective.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
We shall see.
Okay. Is this gonna be like 2026?
I'm not sure. Still working out the details.
Okay. We will wait. And then finally, but I'm not sure if you're actively drafting anything right now. So if you are, then I think the answer will be no. But have you read anything lately that you would recommend?
I mean, always.
Okay.
Let's see. Courtney Milan just released a new book. I love all her books. I read everything she writes. She's like my idol. We're the same age. And I'm like, no, Courtney, I want to be like you when I grow up. I think she thinks I'm weird. So, but her books are great. What else have I read? I just read Rent to Be by Sonia Hardall. It's like about a millennial who can't afford to do anything because she's like crushed under student loan debt, and she's a hot mess. I think that her main character would be friends with Grace. Like they're in their 20s making bad choices. But it was fun. I mean,
that was very much the number one thing. We were like, we all remember this period of life so well, and just like, oh, sweet child, just you'll get through it, and just have some really good drinks while you're there. I guess have as much fun as you can while you're there. But we're all very glad we're not 20 anymore. I think
no, it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I think my 20s may have gone differently if I had rich friends.
Yes. Definitely makes a difference. Even just the quality of alcohol, and then the
Right? I'm like, I was drinking Smirnoff, and these bitches have tequila. I mean, come on.
You had Smirnoff? I had Taka.
I don't even know what that is.
It comes in a plastic handle. That's all you need to know. That is the appropriate response.
Is this like a Canadian like milk in a bag kind of thing, or no? It really is as weird as I think it sounds.
It was in Atlanta, so I mean, it was in a metropolitan American city. So
Ooh,
I think
yeah, but you guys make like boozy lollipops or boozy popsicles too, don't you?
Oh yeah.
this was before those existed.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, sorry.
It's no.
It's in my
Anywho.
head. We're still 20. Sorry.
Always. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. I think, like I said, we covered all of our questions. And I now really want to see Magic Mike 3. I had no desire.
Please don't do it. Don't put yourself through it. Just watch the beginning. The first part is the only good part. The rest is really bad.
No, I've seen Magic Mike, but not the third.
Oh,
No, just don't watch the third one. Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, I'll try not to, but
Just watch the first scene.
You told me not to watch it so many times. I think I really need to now.
Well, I look forward to your message telling me that I was right.
We will send that to you. Thank you so much for joining us, Anna. Have a lovely evening.
Thanks.
And thank you. And we will see you for your next books, I'm sure. Okay. And I can never remember how to end this. End stream. Bye-bye, internet.